Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect and I'm your host Sam, and we are looking at the Premier League games that were played last week and comparing them to what we are gonna see this week. So it's gonna be an interesting game. I don't know what's going to happen. That is the fact of the matter. We just don't know what will happen, but I can't wait. I definitely can't wait because it's gonna be an amazing time. Let's wait and see what happens. So we are back again with the Premier League show, and one thing that we know what we do when we are in this Premier League show, there are always some talking points that are always in the description, so you can check them out. And if you have something that you need us to cover, you can always let us know in the comment section. Hello, Mr. Lewis. How are you doing, sir? How is you? And what is going to happen today? United is playing against Southampton. Did you watch the build-up show? I was covering your team. Watching the Rangers game. Rangers is live right now. Which team are they playing with? Let's see. Rangers. So, is it true that the Rangers are still unbeaten as of yet, or what's happening? Because I'll be happy if Rangers win the league at least once. It's Scotland. Because it has been Celtic all over. Celtic. Let me see. Which team are they playing with right now? Rangers. ESPN. Oh, this side they're not screening the game. Oh, they're still unbeaten. Wow, that's amazing. The only team in Europe that is still unbeaten is Rangers. That's amazing. Okay, it's not live where I'm watching it, so you just tell me what's happening in terms of the scoreline. Oh, they're playing Benfica. It's the Europa. Yeah, thank you for reminding me that. Oh, it's the Europa game, right? Do you think that they can go far this season? Talking about like the way they've been performing, can they go far this season? Because it'll be interesting if they do. I love Steven Gerrard. I respect him a lot, and he deserves to create a team that can light up the world. Okay. Tottenham is playing as well, right? I'll keep you updated with those. Because Arsenal won by 3-0. That's good. It's definitely good. Now let's watch what's happening here. Tottenham could be playing. Okay, now let's go. This is the Premier League show. Yeah, I think so. If they win this game, they'll go to the next round. That's amazing. I hope they do win the game, because I think it's now time for them to actually go and play in other games. You know, because as much as people don't rate a lot like the Scotland game, and if the Scottish League keep performing like this, if teams like Rangers are now challenging Celtic like what they're doing, that will make it interesting, you see. Because we know that for the past 9 seasons, it has been a Celtic show. So if that changes, then that's the beginning of a good era or so, or something like that. Anyway, let's come back to the Premier League, talk about the game. So the first point we are going to talk about is that the Premier League has confirmed that by the 2nd of December, they will be allowing fans back into the stadium. So the number that we were told first was 4,000, but it looks like the beginning part or the trials or the first games that will have fans in the stadium, there'll only be 2,000 fans. And the game that I heard first, they are 10 points ahead of them. Yeah, that's good. I hope they continue doing that, because I would like to see Rangers win the league for a change. Yes, yeah. So, like I'm saying, they're saying that the Premier League or the government of Britain given a go ahead that the fans can come back into the grounds or into the stadiums, but it looks like they're not giving the whole Premier League teams for them to all come back. They're only giving some few teams, and Liverpool Arsenal and some of the teams that are there, they've been selected. And the other teams that are there in the Premier League. One thing that I've heard is this: the Manchester teams, they will not have fans in the grounds. They will not have fans in the stadium. Reason why, it seems like the COVID, like the high zones of COVID-19 spread is actually in the side of the Manchester United and Manchester, the city of Manchester. So the Premier League said that they are going to have to stop with those ones. They have not yet been given green light to allow fans into the ground. So it means that if there's any club that is in Manchester, it means Manchester United, Manchester City, I'm not sure which other team is that, they don't have fans in the ground as of yet. But other teams like in London, Chelsea, Tottenham, and other ones, they will have fans in the ground. It's based on how bad the coronavirus is in the area. Yes, that's true. They are looking at the places where they are less spread, and it's actually the government are able to control the disease. That's where they're only allowing people to come back into the stands. And I believe that's why they said 2000, because they want to test, they want to give a test run and see what happens with these first teams. So if teams like Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham have fans, that will be a better way to test what happens with this COVID-19. So that's what they're going to be trying to do at the first time, then they see what happens. But like I said, United and City, they won't have fans, because seems like in Manchester there's still a problem with COVID-19 that has to be dealt with first before we move on to the next level. I have to go for quick. Okay, yeah, that's true. Say I'll be here. Okay, it's okay. Say I'll be here. Okay, let's now cover the next issue. So I don't know, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about having fans back into the ground, having fans back into the stadium, and at least taking part in the football game, and trying to go back to the old normal that we were used to before COVID-19 hit? I think we can actually agree that this is the best step to the right direction. That shows that some things are changing for sure, and we like to see more of that happening in the Premier League, that's for sure. Next, hello Mr. Anthony, how are you doing? Oh, nice. So it means that which game will you be going to watch your team? Which game will you be going to watch your team if they are going to be allowing you? Because they said on the 2nd of December. Which game will you be going to watch your team? I'll be curious, because I don't know which one will be your first home game. That's actually good. I'm really impressed with this. Please, those who are joining us, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel so that you never miss another video when we go live. So that's good news, and I feel like people are happy about this case that fans are now coming back into the stadium. It shows that people are happy, except of the Manchester club. That has to take a little bit of time, but let's see what happens with this first trial that they're trying to test on. The next question is this. If you have, guys, something that you want us to talk about, you can put it in the comment section. If you have a question or something, just put it there. But you can check, there are some talking points that we have set in the description. You can go there and you look at them. And if you want to add another one, it's allowed. Just do it right now so that we can just talk about it. Okay. I'm not sure. It depends on how much it will be and if I can get one, because there will be so many people trying to get a ticket. What happens now? Remember that, like you were telling me last time, that there are those fans who bought the whole season ticket. What is going to happen? It means that they're gonna be asking fans to buy something. They'll be buying something extra so that they can get a seat into the ground. I'm curious to see how they're gonna set up their stuff. Or it's first to come, first to save. That'll be crazy. I don't even want to think about that. They have to, or maybe they will say that we'll choose the VIP section, those people who have paid a lot of money to be in the ground, to be the one who enters into it. I don't know. That's what I think. I'm not really sure. Tell me what you think. That might actually make sense, because there'll be a lot of people, and of course there'll be chaos, people trying to fight to get into the stadium. That'll be interesting to see on how they're going to sort the situation and how it will be like. We'll just keep our eyes on the situation, and we'll tell you whenever there's any changes. Remember, like I said, this is the first trial. They want to see what happens with the first try. Then they can move on to more fans. Because, like what Jurgen Klopp was saying, that he was saying that the ground can accommodate around 60,000 fans. So having 2,000 in a ground that is big to accommodate 60,000, that is just crazy and uncalled for. So we'll wait and see what happens. Let's just give it time. COVID-19 had messed everything up, but let's take step by step and see what happens. That's what we can only do. Anyway, let's move on to the next question that we have, the next point that we have, and is that, are we expecting a better performance from Arsenal this week? So this question came in before the game that they just played in the Europa was played. By the way, Arsenal won by 3-0. I know that one of the scorers was Nicolas Pepe. I don't know if there's any other player that has scored in that game, but one thing that I discovered was that Nicolas Pepe scored in the second half. I think it was at 50 minutes and stuff like that in the Europa Cup. But that's not where the problem of Arsenal is. It's not even the Europa Cup. It's in the Premier League. That's where the problem is. They were beaten by Aston Villa. That's first. Secondly, they lost. They drew, in fact, against Leeds. After winning from Manchester United with that penalty, Aston Villa beat them, Leeds drew with them, and in the Leeds game they struggled again. They were defending the whole game for no apparent reason. And I'm hoping that there is a little bit of change and there's an idea that maybe the manager of Arsenal has actually come up with and said that this is how we're going to play. We are not going to be a defensive club. We are going to try to attack and at least produce some better performance for the team, because what we've been seeing from Arsenal is just unacceptable and it's really hard to watch. So I don't know. We will wait and see what happens, because the Leeds game is still in their heads, that's for sure. Especially that Nicolas Pepe picked up a red card that the Leeds players played with him around, and they pushed him to make those silly mistakes that led him getting a red card. So it means that there is a problem in the Arsenal team. There is a problem, and we have to wait and see how they're going to solve this issue and how they're going to work on to at least produce a better team when they play the next game. That's all we can say. I want to hear your thoughts and your comments in the comment section, guys. What do you think Arsenal have to do to at least give us a good game? Because let me remind you, the team that they're playing within the Premier League this week, it's Wolves. And we know that Wolves can step up whenever they are called for in some occasions. Not all the times, but sometimes they can step up and give better performance. This season, I have to say, I have not seen yet the best performance of Wolves, but we have to give them time so that at least we can see what they can do so that we can enjoy the game. But we'll just wait and see what happens. You just let us know in the comment section what you think about this issue. And if you're an Arsenal fan, tell me if there's any strategy that Arteta has for this game against Wolves. Because we know what Nuno will bring into the game. We know what he's going to bring. We saw the game that Wolves played against Southampton. They are a dangerous team when it comes to shooting and going up front. So we wait and see what happens. If there's any question you want to ask, guys, put it in the comment section. Don't forget to click that like button and subscribe. So the next point that I wanted to talk about was Liverpool. Liverpool gave us an amazing performance last game that they were playing against Leicester City in the Premier League. Everyone were happy. We were happy with the performance. They showed us why people should not count them out, should not doubt them when it comes to competing for the title. They did so, and they did it in their best way they know how. I was happy. I was impressed. Then we went to meet Atalanta. Klopp decided to change its starting lineup a bit, taking players like Diogo Jota, Firmino, and some of the players, regulars, if I may say, out of the game. And Atalanta did find a way and scored 2 goals yesterday. It was a hard game to watch for all the Liverpool fans. So I am now saying this. I think I should call it a reality check. We were given a test of our own medicine when we don't take games seriously. But at the same time, you have to understand that we've picked up a lot of knocks, and there is just no any way or any better way to win these games, but actually by trying by all means to do by trying to rotate even the players that are not playing, so that at least not many players of us pick up knocks. So I don't know what will happen in the next game. We are playing against Brighton, by the way. That is the next game. It will be on Saturday, the first game on Saturday. I'm wondering what happens, what will we do. And the interesting part that I'm actually happy about is this: Lamptey will not be in the game. That's for sure. Lamptey has been cancelled. No, not cancelled, by the way. He got a red card in the last game, so I don't think he will feature in the Liverpool game that we'll be playing. So we have to wait and see what happens, and we'll have to see how the game goes. That is for sure. So, any questions that you have, guys? Any questions? It seems like those people were connected have disappeared. Okay. Let me finish up on this other question that I have here. The other point that I have, some of these points, guys, I've been taking them from some people we're communicating through the social platforms that we have. Facebook, we have a group and a page for the Football Connect. Instagram, we have an account that is actually open for the Football Connect, and Twitter also there's an account for the Football Connect. You can go like and maybe subscribe. You go like and follow us wherever you go. So, and you can leave your comments and your thoughts so that we can always put them in this Premier League show, and we'll talk about the points that you put there. That's why maybe they're a little bit less than the usual, or maybe the ones that we had last week. Believe you understand what I mean. And we have a question here: can Manchester City get anything this season with their form? That is a question that we have to talk about now. Manchester City. So this game this week, they're playing against a Burnley team that won their first game. Is it yesterday? No. Last week, like week 9, they won their first game after such a long time. So they're feeling pretty good for themselves. They were happy. Their first victory to come after 9 weeks of football. That is pretty much bad, but we won't talk about that. So they'll be playing against Manchester City. That is for sure. And now the question that we all have is that, can Manchester City get something this season? Can they have a cup, or can they win anything this season? Because looking at the Premier League, I don't think there's anyone who can even say that they think Manchester City are getting something in the Premier League. Looking at their performance, looking at what they've been doing, nobody thinks that they are getting something. So that is the question: can they get something this season? And if there is anything that they get this season, can you please do me a favor? Tell me what, because I've been looking around. I haven't seen anything with their performance, because Manchester City are missing chances like nobody's business. They're creating chances, but they're just missing. For the past 3 games, I'm going to repeat this stat. For the past 3 games, they've managed to score one goal in each and every game that they've played in the Premier League. So that's pretty much bad, and that has to change if they're going to come back and maybe attack for something. And that defense has to be solid. Pep Guardiola has to find some things that he can work on so that the defense is solid. I don't know. That's all that I think about this game. So guys, if there's any thoughts you have, you can put it in the comment section, then we'll visit them. Mr. Anthony, I see that you are really happy that your team is back. You are now able to go back into the grounds. That's the best news that we had today. Let me hear from you guys. There will be a remake tomorrow, so you can leave your questions in the comment section if you have any question, or you can go give us those questions in those pages that I told you guys about. The account that is of Twitter and Instagram, then the page on Facebook and a group on Facebook. You can go leave your questions and any comments that you have so that we look at them and give your answer there. Thank you very much for being here with us. We'll be back tomorrow with any other shows that we have, because we have some things that we need to cover, some build up for the game. I'm going to do a build up for the Liverpool game. just for the Liverpool, just a Liverpool game only against Brighton, just analyzing it, maybe do some player selections that I think will feature into the game. Then we have some things that we'll be talking about the Premier League, and maybe talk about the Champions League a little bit as a whole and how it's looking like in terms of the groups. Then we move on to build up for the game that we'll be doing a watch along over, which is Crystal Palace versus Newcastle, as we are going to be watching we'll be watching the next part of this era of the Premier League. We'll wait and see where all the teams are like, because one thing I'm gonna do after this week is finished, remember that'll be week 10 now. I'm gonna go look at the week 10 and look at all the teams and look at how or where they are after playing 10 games. Of course, teams like Manchester City and United, we'll just look at them where they are, because after that they would have played 9 games. They can't be playing 10 games because they didn't play the first time because of the COVID-19 that they had to go and perform in other competitions, so that delayed and stuff like that. So I'll just look at them, then we'll look at how the other teams are right now in the Premier League since the games were played, and how they've done and what will happen next. That's what we'll be doing. I think it'll be interesting. But before I go, guys, I just wanna show you just the games that will be taking place this weekend. Just an overview, just looking at all the games that will be played, and tell me your thoughts on it. We'll see what happens from them. I gave my predictions already on these games. You can go check them out if you want. They are there. There's a video that we did earlier in the morning. So this is week 10, right? Let me put this thing on here. Okay, so we have Crystal Palace versus Newcastle, Brighton versus Liverpool, Manchester City versus Burnley, Everton versus Newcastle. So the Crystal Palace game is on Friday. Liverpool, Manchester City and Everton, they are all on Saturday. And West Brom, by the way, and Sheffield, they are also on Saturday. Sunday, the first game comes late on, which is the Southampton Manchester United. Chelsea Tottenham is the other game that follows. Then Arsenal versus Wolves will be the next game that follows on Saturday. Then Monday, which will be the last day, of course, we have Leicester versus Fulham and West Ham versus Aston Villa. I'm really excited to watch the West Ham versus Aston Villa game, because I think it's going to be an amazing game to watch. Then after all these games are finished, we're going to do that show of ours, the week to forget, looking at the teams that would have lost the games, and maybe in that moment we'll be looking at our predictions, then comparing with what it would have actually happened, and maybe make a laugh of it, or maybe make some jokes on it, just saying that how we were wrong or how I was correct. All those things will be done after these games are played anyway, guys. So I don't know if I'm leaving anything here, guys. I've covered everything that I could. Your comments, we've answered all of them. Is there any comment that you think I didn't answer? And if you have any comments that you want to ask, you can put them right now before I go out, so that I can give you an answer before we go. Or maybe we can analyze the question before we go. If there's anything, guys, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel, so that you never miss another video. Thank you very much for being with us. This is Sam on the Premier League show. There'll be a better one next week, because we're going to try to make sure that it happens on time. And the time it's supposed to happen, it's supposed to be on a Tuesday, but now because of the Champions League, Tuesday are always busy days. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how we're going to sort them out. Maybe you might find out that these shows will be doing them sometime in the afternoon or maybe in the morning, because of how busy the evenings will be. Like, we all know how the December games are like, how busy to be like in the Premier League. All of those things we know. So we will see what we're going to sort out, and we'll make sure that it works for us. Thank you very much, guys, for being with us. This has been the Football Connect. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video on your social media so that more people can join in and watch. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be going.